Oh, I can't freaking read. I can't read this. I opened it and I was like, oh, hold on a second. I actually can't read none of this. I'm like, what? What am I reading? Hold on. Hold the phone. I can't read none of this. Me and my dumb old head. Me and my Una dumb face. Can I read this? Oh, I see it! It's in the corner! I am blind. I figured it out! Never mind! I stupid! I got it, I got it! Yeah! I can read! Cause it opened up. It like straight up just like this, and I did not see this bit, and I just got bamboozled and super flustered, and I went, I cannot read. So I just started clicking all the buttons. I was like, oh, maybe this makes sense. with my stupid fat head. Stupid elongated brain. Anyhow, hi Scootler, hi Bug. Congrats on the first. What's up? How you guys doing? Is this controller compatible? That's my real question, because I like to play Omjing. Oh, this guy just decided to go on its own. Hi, Clay. Spooky time. I don't know what this is. Hold the phone. Maybe I should yap a little bit. Though, the controller settings are very weird. What yo? Why capturing the whole thing, Steam? Hold on. Let's see if it... Okay, it's just seeing all of my friends existing. Spooky time. Yes, I do want to return to the menu. Honestly, it's always spoopy time here. I'm gonna end up playing something scary every other moment. Read text auto settings. It's like there's settings for it, but not really. Oh yeah, what happened? What happened? I don't remember what that was all about. Hi, Chris. I don't know what we're all talking about. I haven't got a single clue. Things move around, but not really. No, no, it's starting in Russian. Uh-oh. Go back. Ah. I can't read it. Oh. I remember opening the stream and then I blacked out and lost 3 hours. Yeah. That can happen. That can happen sometimes in the deep vacuums of of ah, the deep vacuums of we might have been in cryostasis, so honestly, not my fault. Not my fault. The time dilation caused a lot of funkiness in the brain, so you can't help that we have 600-year-old Alzheimer's or something. Or dementia. We're 600 years old. We were cryo chambered, you know? We can't be too hard on ourselves for being cryoblasted. Hi, Izuku! Hope you're having a good morning. Hope you're having your good coffee. Welcome, welcome. How's your day? How's your day starting so far? How's everyone's day starting so far? Here we chillin'. Hold on, my settings are all wonked out right now. I'm looking around. So far, the atmosphere and the painterly style I really like. I'm really vibing with how it looks so far. Oh, spooky and everything. Nice and spooky. Hope I don't scare myself too bad. Wee. May enter a foogie. Foogie. Fugoo. Fugoo. Sorry. After all that reading, I don't think I can operate at a high functioning level right now. I think I'm a little dumb. Yeah, we don't talk about yesterday. Yesterday was like a genuine slurped into the black hole. Just as the protagonist was slurped into the endless void, so was that live. It never happened. It's lost to the uncharted fathoms of space. It never existed. We never existed. Crazy shared dream space? Nah, a dream. Actually, it's one of those dreams that, like, you wake up from and you knew you had a dream, but you forgot. And you're trying really hard to remember, but you can't. That's what yesterday was. One second. My settings. I'm being strangely compelled to read. Why? Is the demon possessing you? The demon of... Put it in your anus. I'm so sorry. That's mean. Shut up! Delete it! Delete me! I'm gonna unstream. I should have not said that. That's so mean. That's so mean. That's so mean. So mean. I'm so sorry. Don't say that. That's mean. Oh. That's so mean. That was so mean. I should not have said that. I'm so sorry. That is evil. Oh my god. Don't say that. Why would you say that? That's so dumb. Dude, pull out the hammer, please. I need to be freaking lobotomized. Only scared rabbits could make this up to me. Yeah, honestly, if this game tortures me horribly, it's what I deserve today. I deserve it. I'm being so mean. Oh, I'm so sorry. I appreciate the efforts of everyone who tries to get their game out. It's fantastic and great and amazing. Keep up the good work, guys, and always strive to get your games out there, get your ideas out there. It's important that you get creative and follow those passions and get a hobby and, you know, do some stuff. Don't just rot. Don't rot in bed. Stop rotting. Bed rot is no good for the brain. Better make a game and get it out there and have someone experience it than rot in bed. Oh my goodness. I pulled out 3 rolls of toilet paper to wipe the poop from yesterday. What poop? Where? From your butt? Oh my god, I need to stop. I'm being mean. Hold on, I got like some things to mess with real quick. But hi everyone, welcome to the stream. We're playing in Russian again and I can't read it. Playing Tiny Bunny Prologue. I think there's an epilogue or a current one. But we'll see how I feel after the epilogue if I want to play it. I had a weird thing going on with my poop. It was called... You're so stupid! Shut up! Ew. Don't be mean, don't be mean. We're a wholesome stream, obviously. Only the wholesomest fellas here right now. Here to get scared and have fun. Oh my gosh, why is this low battery already? Piss me off. Piss me off. I had this plugged in all night. Low battery already. I forgot to do this. I'm sorry. I'm doing it now, though. And then I'll get into the game here. Hold on a second. Trying to make a yapathon. How much can you yap? Before you explode. I just completely whiffed it. Like, I already did all of this and I just never set it up. Which happens. Okay. There we go. Oh! What are those emotes? What does it say? Is the nail biting and then the poopy emote? I gotta make poopy emotes. The poop emoji. Una but poop. Why is it only me? Why is it being only viewed for me? Okay. Should be good to go. Okay, it's on the team. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, we're good. Time to get started, guys. Oh, you ready to get spooky? Some rabbit noises. Bam. No signal on. Oh. Wait, who's about to go use that Dugatans? If single scary thing happened, I'll scream and explode. Oh! Just pops. Let's go. Let's go, let's go. Let's see what the vibes are. What are we looking forward to? But I do like the painty look, and I like the brushes they used for this frosty looking Rasta look. Let me know if audio is good and not exploding, you guys. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, eerie, twined in the air. Of course we have to start. There's an ad break. Frickin' stink stank. You lose your space war. You're still in space? Oh wait, my notification doesn't say the correct thing. It says, oh dang, we're in space. You're not in space. They were shouting and laughing and arguing about something. Something was through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had been seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket glazed back, with its hollowed eyes rustling, whizzing, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves there was nobody behind the crooked trees. Fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. It's just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I knew it was just my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Still... Oh, interesting. So frosty, the windows. Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look how slouched you are. Hide. Oh, hide my book? Yeah, interesting looking art. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. Conan the Barbarian. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Olia had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic, she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials. You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it. I, on the other hand, was trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes as if I would make the porridge disappear. Ooh, hi Birdcage, thank you for following. Whoa, what is this? What the heck was that? That scared me. What was all that? Hold on. Just like opened all my settings or something. Hello, hello. Thank you for following. Hello, hello. What was that? Hold on a second. What the? Hold the phony. Hold the pahony. Hold my pahony, guys. Hold my goddamn pahony. Hold the goddamn pahony. What the heck was that? I wanna look back at whatever was going on there. Friggin', what is this? While running game code, transition render must render a... I just need to make sure nothing weird was showing on here. An exemption was occurred. I don't think anything was shown there, but very weird. Hold the pony. The game crashed. For why? I'm stimming it too much now. Hold my pony. Did I have an autosave or might I have a skippy? Hold the pony, guys. Hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for following a birdcage. Sorry, I got distracted there for a second. I was immersed, but I got booted. Oh, this looks like a fox. Now that I see it, there's a fox in the frost. My eyes saw it. Hold up, honey. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. I looked like a jellyfish from a Cateau? From the Cateau? Cousteau? Oh my gosh. It's a little hard to see, I'm sorry. The Cousteau Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is, or how cold the Black Forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes. Hi, Moopai. Her green eyes. Cold glare from her green eyes. What did I just say? I get it. I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. I felt around for the spoon. What is this, carved on the other side of the table? Karina. Ha, that's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out or something with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No. She's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. Oh my god. I've heard of oatmeal cookie coffee and pasta. Hold the pony! The oatmeal cookies! Oatmeal. Holy pahony. My aunt makes oatmeal cookies that are overnight oatmeal cookies, where it's oatmeal, peanut butter, and chocolate mixed together in a pot over flame, and then let it cool. Make cookie shape and leave it overnight until hardened. They crumble and taste amazing. It's genuinely a copy pasta. It's so funny. I remember you verbatim telling me about this cookie recipe every time it comes up, and I'm like, I think you've told me this recipe thing like 3 times. It's so funny. It never becomes clear to me that you told me the recipe already until you've already said it. Oh wait, the second part of the coffee pasta. They're so good, I want oatmeal cookies. Oh, I gotta get the recipe for those. Yeah, no. The first part is that, and then the second part is, I really have to ask my aunt about that recipe. Every time. I really gotta remember to ask my aunt about that recipe, and then just never get the recipe. It's so funny. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? Oh, Grandma! I imagined my grandma coming to my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed while Olia sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Good grandma drawing. Very grandma. Haiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out, trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. Holy good babushka painting. That's a good grandma painting. She's got a little stubble. She's got a little stubble. Stubbly grandma. and that would be it. Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashing dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. Oh, trouble in the household. I remember listening in on one of their conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma and getting prepared for her funeral. Ooh, maybe talk about that when you're not home. Especially in an argumentative format. Stubbly Grandma survives winters more. They're cute. Cute little grandma. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. Dang, I mean, I guess lightheartedness with this. I waited for its time in the closet patiently. Oh, it waited for its time in the closet patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it with my grandma when my grandma was getting buried. The house didn't change since the time she was alive, only all the photos were gone. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from under the table. Olia was done with her cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window. There was a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Yeah, I see it. There's a fox. Olia, look! It's a fox! Generational trauma grandparents are a classic. Your grandparents, you know you would be the most extreme doomers ever if they were born at the same time as you. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies, but they put on the back of the student books. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a bit and look under a certain angle, not outside, on the window. Look, there's a nose in here. Hey, eat up. Yes, yes, just a moment. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left. Ah, there it is. But it still doesn't look like one. And I'm telling you it does. Nuh-uh. It does. Stop it. These kids, I swear. Now I couldn't see the fox either. Oh, it's gone now. Oh, that's interesting. I saw it earlier, but this is what it looked like earlier, but then it showed it to me again, but now it's gone. It disappeared. Went away. Only the frosty patterns similar to stretched out nettle leaves kept creeping up the glass. Oh. Dad. My dad entered the kitchen with long measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Mom would always ask jokingly, "Come on, shave it off, it stings!" This was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Olia always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, "What's the point in all this?" through the wall. "It's all for your sake," Dad would reply. "For the sake of our family." I had always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with a D. D-I-V-O. I don't even want to finish it. Ooh. Who's this Giga Chad father? It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister would be torn apart and taken to two different families. Anyway, your fox is nothing. I have an owl on my window. You and your dad... you and your owl talk again. You said you believed in me yesterday. Has anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill. Right. Maybe you did, maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of 2, and still... Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace. Your keys are in the basket near the phone. Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already. And the owl? There was no owl. But there was one. It had giant glowing eyes. Olia sprung up from her chair and placed her hands on her little face, imitating a pair of eyes with her fingers, the size of an apple each. Last year, you had Bye-bye in your closet, and now this owl? But I saw it. Olia shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's still little. Olia pouted, her lips in rebellion, and rushed to the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Dad just snorted in reply and left her ringing with keys he just found. A minute had passed, and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. It was stored on an incredibly worn-out cassette tape which Dad had to glue together once. So, it's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Olia had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn and curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. Yeah, I'm really feeling this arts. And then Olia said she saw the giant flying monster outside her window. She became obsessed with it. Our parents did everything in their power, and they tried every little trick to get rid of those ridiculous fears. Olia refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that owls was just one of her nightmares. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Just last night, I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking about what happened in my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of the new term. My imagination drew long, twisted hallways that led to a classroom full of kids, but all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces. A pair of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares filled the icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? The damn school can burn for all I care. I just wished for anything to happen. Doesn't really matter what. I didn't want to go there that badly. I didn't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me, worse than the previous one. I felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider or some sort of monster. Ooh, glasses. Glasses shaming. You know, this kid is still getting on the streets. Ooh, he's being glasses bullied. Ugh. You gotta think about it now, like, there are people who even just wear glasses as accessory, like prescription glasses as accessory with no prescription. Back then, heh, 4 eyes. Loser, 4 eyes. So lame. Ugh. For real. So lame. My gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Olia begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. Ooh, he's an artist. The drawer. X and her sister sat close to the TV as kids so they could get glasses. It worked well. Well, they got glasses now. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying, in a cold voice, "You've got the wrong number." Or Anton is not around. Anton is not around. Hi, Blooper. I imagined my future classmates lying in their beds, just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe new classmates will like me after all, but who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? It's okay. It's okay, little bean. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. Oh, you think your mom is the most beautiful woman on the planet? That's so cute. That's so cute, my mom. My mom is so pretty. Oh. The house creaked, pressed by the window. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building, buzzed with the neighbors' rumbled. Neighbor's drill, mumbled with a TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easygoing during the day. The shadows lay dormant in the corner on the closet, cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family with their ashen eyes were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains are moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody, and then I realized I was, in fact, hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the end of my perception, I could hear a flute. It was mixed with the sound of the wind, the cracking old house, in my thoughts too. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it here, or playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh, I gotta go. Oh. There's a bunch of creatures flipping and flopping outside. Someone was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out on the dark forest as their backdrop. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, bumped into piles of snow, rolled around, and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands. Let me actually save just in case I get a crash. Holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Skinwalker. Wrestling. What if it is just a bunch of dudes wrestling a bunch of bears? Because one of them has like a silhouette of a bear. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly, the music stopped. Oh, we've been caught. The dancing shadows froze in place. I could swear, pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow carnival and sprinted across the grass field with giant leaps. Oh my god. It ran over here. That is scary. I don't like that. Knocked on the door in fear. It glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by a pitch-black shadow of my house, which became even darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like a bird inside a cage. I shut the curtain with a swift motion, stepped back toward the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guests moving and scraping around, looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right and circled around the house. Now my guest would be at the front door. I jumped onto the bed and covered myself with the blankets as if it could protect me. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll, ants running up and down the legs of the chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. When her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets, and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Buyan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. There lay lard and ashen hair for the spawn from Devil's Lair to feast and always leave alone God's faithful servant named Anton. Evil leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hangman. Then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratching at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly clawing at the wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently, as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the might of darkness, and then... the door block twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more and then started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear. My wet fingers clutched the blanket. Door's open. The door creaked and opened. The wind taunted me, moaning inside the tin drains. Now, you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness writhed inside in the carnivorous mouth of the doorway. Oni. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapping its black wings and squeaking with the rusty hinges. I was trembling, ensnared by the web of darkness. It hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Tony. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tony, you asleep? My sister's pale face protruded from the thick shadows. I almost screamed from relief. Olia, I'm not asleep. Did something happen? Unexplained noises at the door and window are spooky no matter what. Like, even if it's an animal, bruh. I don't want to get scratched by a raccoon. Oh my goodness. Yeah, there was this one time when I was living on my own when my roommate moved out and there was like knocking at the door around like 2 a.m. or something and I was like, I'm just a little guy. Go away. It's 2 in the morning. And I like propped up chairs at the doors and like pushed the dining table over to the sliding door and I propped up chairs in my room door. I'm like, so scary. Let me grab me a blankie though. I'm getting smoked. I've been at hotels so skeevy, I blocked the doors. Yeah, I have blocked the doors many times with chair. I was like, is this correct? I don't know, but chair is there now. Ugh, I got hiccups. Oh my gosh. Hold on. God, if you sleep better. Yeah, I always like jam things. But definitely like those last couple of months. Living in that place by myself when my roommate moved out was so freakishly weird. Oh, I don't need this. Olia frowned and stuck out her lower lip, a clear sign that she was about to cry. Little baby. It's there again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony, please. I'm so scared. The fear was tormenting me just a minute ago. Crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Olia down. Aww, what's wrong, big brother? It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. No one's going to harm you. Olia sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But... was I sure myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room, watch the video Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you? Why does the Sleeping Beauty have a prince and I have a scary bird? That question took me by surprise. Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with the eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by my grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair. Tony, you coming? Yes, just a moment. Oh my goodness, you scored me. That's why I don't want to laugh at Oli and her owl in the morning. Oh, scored me. Werewolf painty jump scare. The writing is really good. It's really good at making it so tense. It's really good. I think so far the writing, like, for building up tension, it's really good. Yeah, I'm guessing this game's originally Russian too, so very, very good tension for a translation. I wonder if they're like bilingual and then just kind of knew, like, whoever was in the translation knew how to, you know, just translate it well enough. Really good. Spooked me. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled, just from a silly thought that our morning guests could have come from the woods. I could barely hear voices coming from the front door. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet? Under the table? Behind the curtains, where Olia always hides? Tony, come here! It felt like kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars, worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. This is a really cool shot, honestly. Very good art, very good art. Hello? The senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded. A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. Look at this, please. Have you seen him? The police held a photograph to me. Whoa. That's a nice drawing. That's a very good painty look. Ugh, art. There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school, pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. I barely leave the house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window? That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they? The window. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes, his stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed, wittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it? Bit by bit. It's just our little daughters misses the city a lot. Misses the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well? Yes, everything's alright, thank you. The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaking voice, to look like a polite boy, and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles, haha. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Wanted to help other people, just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice. You don't say. Ah, well then. What grade are you in, Tony boy? 6th? Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. Ah, then I'll leave you my number just in case. Call me if you have any new info. Yeah, the art is really... Whew. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of the smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. Yeah, so much hard to do all these angles, yeah. Like, this is just such a good shot. I wondered what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? What would my parents do if I got missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other like they always do, and forget about me eventually? Mom, this Vora, did he go missing in our forest? Seems like it, poor child. I looked out the window at the road. The police UAZ drove toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. I remembered that the teenage mystery novel from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigation, all sort of mysteries there. They looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents very proud. I noticed a trail of policeman footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get a reward. Olia would be so happy. And not only Olia, Mom and Dad too. Maybe they'll even forget about their quarrels for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the B word. I fantasized about buying Olia a Tamagotchi, aww, and getting a cassette player with a bunch of tapes for myself, and a whole box of Kinder Surprise, aww. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. Dad had lost his job at the time, and there's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think? Kinder Surprise! Was got banned here for being choking hazards. I think so. I think they kinda came back. I don't know. Big dum-dums. Because they have toys inside and the kids would just eat the thing. Oh my goodness. Yeah, because the little Kinder Egg would get jammed, I guess. Neighbors used to envy us, but nowadays Mom and Dad barely had money to afford sweets, and Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Olia. Sometimes I gave her my share too, no matter how much I wanted to eat sweets. She was still just a pipsqueak. Oh. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside. Yeah, right. You want that police to go around with your photograph next? The forest is so thick. What if the boy got snatched up by wild animals or something even worse? Even worse, echoed through the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Did you hear what I said? Or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag and play with Olia. Or play with Olia. Sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Ooh! Options. Basement, front yard, kitchen, options. dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Olia can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Babai is living there. I tried to help her fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned the dim lamp, and she could see that there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratched walls. She still didn't believe me, and I liked to hide in the closet and listen to Olia outside. 1, 2, 3, better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Anton, get your ass out of the closet immediately! Mom got mad at me! My parents prohibit me from taking long-distance calls, but from time to time, I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I could just pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the zoomer and distant crackling, imagining the wind howling in ice-laden chords. Mom, stop. This cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was black, as if it absorbed all human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself with the cross's sharp corner and almost fell from a stepladder. Ooh. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. Ooh, weird. Mom's peg top, a family relic. My mom played with it when she was little. She gifted it to me. Olia was next in the line of the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. She stared at the dancing spindle as if it could show her something, a fairy tale or maybe the future. Now, even my little sister was a bit too old for the old squeaky peg top. Anton! I'll whip you if you make a single step out the door. Yank! It's so vibey. This was my mom's. I need to distract my mom somehow, or I'll get scolded and my ass whipped with Dad's leather belt. Dang. Hot dig a dang. In the kitchen it is. Oh my god, there's so many things in here. So many things to touch. Who are you? The decrepit and stain-covered calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remember waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning. As if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. Excuse me. One day, closer to New Year's. One day, closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched the calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions to be exact. I grabbed a dusty calendar leaf with caution and tore it off effortlessly. Sadly, the spooky description from my childhood was still there. 7 horses carrying the log. If 7 can't carry, bring the 8th from the ferry. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate that log cannot escape. I crumpled a gray leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside me like black ink on blotting paper. Shade for the babushka. Oh no. They loved Grandma. I'm just sad Grandma's gone. Intercom of Russia has declared the state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions. According to the weather forecast, a cyclone is moving toward the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snow drifts on the road. Keep an eye open and take care of yourself. Storms a brewing. I took a peek at Mom's crossword. She would get very angry when someone gave her advice, so me and Dad faked knowing the answer and being about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at the fleeting thought. Vertical 9 letters, the name of a Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname, the Lord of the Flies. The BB Bub? The BB Bub? The BB Bub? BB Bubby BB? I don't know how to spell it though. Second letter is E. The BB Bub? Lord of the Flies. It's Grandpa? Dedushka. The side of the old ocean freezer was checkered with my childish drawings, Mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum with dinosaurs that Olia likes so much. Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. Lieutenant Tikhonov. I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawling handwriting. A scrap paper was held between two pieces of broken magnet from some old Soviet toy, and these pieces just barely covering up the numbers as if to taunt me. Gotta call this guy. Having to memorize the phone number. Yeah, that was a thing. I leaned toward it to unveil the mystery and take a piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time when I could finally find Bora and be the first to call the police with happy news. Anton! My mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. Repo. What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Angering my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. We got medication, we got eggs, we got some pickled stuff. A pot in there, got some eye drops. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Olia here, but now I only see meat bits for soup and clumped together. Was this pelmeni? I grew to hate them already. What's pelmeni? Pickles are mega good. What's pelmeni? What's these? Oh, a Russian variety of dumplings. There it is. They have fun facts. Fun fact! Some glossary. I didn't realize they got underlined on them. Bye-bye is a Slavic folklore of a nocturnal spirit used by parents to threaten their ill-behaving children. UAZ is Soviet and Russian off-road freight passenger car brand with the product on the Yanovsk car factory. Black Kitty, a series of contemporary Russian originals on translated teens mystery books. Accountant, a song by an all-female Soviet pop band by the name of Kombiantia combination that was widely popular in the early 90s. And pelmeni, a Russian variety of dumplings made by boiling in unleavened dough filled with minced meat. One may even call it Russian fast food. Honestly, that sounds delicious. But I'm assuming it's because it's like so... It's like one of those quick make foods that you can make so many times. But some people get tired of it. I grew to hate them already. Anything else in here? Oops. It was difficult to lie to Mom, but there was no way for me to run away from home. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there's stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became visibly distorted. You're killing me here, so have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you the kinescope will go dim because your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings? Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine this morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom rubbed her hands clean on her apron and went to Olia's room. Thank you. Useful connections. Received the policeman's number. Mom knows when I'm opening that closet. They got the super mega mom ears. We're outside. I opened the front gate and went to the field. Carefully, so my mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, ooh, there's fluttering little birds. How cute. Love the details. Very good details. Ooh, bird noises. Also good details. What the? Blooper on the deadlock. I saw you! I saw you! Point, point, point. The piles of snow became as high as my knees. I remembered my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around, holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on its own. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares to ash, but the aftertaste was still there, distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me. And a barely audible whisper in my head. Blurry and almost kind. Almost kind. Everything was silent. So silent, it felt like the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Olia. The time reached its limit. A one-way trip that ended at the forest. Piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Olia turned to stone listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Our apartment became numb a couple days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together. Almost like all of it was in a previous life. When they kissed with Olia present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke up and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead, cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home. The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away, a siren is going off, trying to warn us of something coming. Whoa, he does have 6 specs. Homie's eyes. Unfortunate. His prescription is pretty high. I shuddered, chasing away my delusions, and looked around. There were only me, this white field, and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. Sport, sport, sport! That's pretty good. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Oh, someone's mitten. Dry, prickling branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Why were they protecting the forest? Or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging on one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow. When I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? The senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Brooklyn Lights. A Russian mystery TV series telling a story of the daily life of a Russian police officer. It's a long-running series in a history of Russian TV at the moment. Oh, interesting. Excellent job with the noses. Very good noses, yes. They get the little shine on the tip of the nose and it pops super nice, yeah. He was also always anxious, with a tired look in his eyes, but looks like a hand right here, by the way. But still brave and strong. With this mitten, will this mitten help them finding the lost boy? Vova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Vova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Vova! Resounded closer to me. Someone was standing right behind the trees, hiding. Vova! I knew someone was looking for the lost boy, but still, something was unsettling about that figure. Its stillness. How it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Where is it? Its blackness. I think it might be that thing with the hand. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all my imagination. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Oh! The shadow from the trees disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but I turned my gaze back to the same place. It was gone. Ooh. So, it was my imagination after all. Silence reigned for a painfully long time. Oh, please don't scare me, please. Don't scare me, please. I'm just a little guy. My muscles were tightly sprung. My heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Wow. I'm gonna take it. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Ah! They're coming for me. Vova! They're coming for me. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Ooh, don't come at me. Ooh. No! I stepped toward the tree, trying to claim my find. Ah, just leave it! It didn't budge. Ah! Landing on my hand with a squishy sound. All too heavy, wet, I squeezed it without thinking. Something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny spring in the snow. Steam rose from the pile. It was blood. Oh my goodness, this paint is crazy. This artist is crazy. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. This is really good. Red. Ew, the sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. Ow, let's go back inside. Let's go back inside, I'm scared. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Oh my goodness, someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength to spur on. You can do it, don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was the sound that my ears went numb. I felt like the sound had come from the pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. Hi, Anthony, I'm scared. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roar of something coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry. Run. Don't look back. It felt like it was inside my nightmare. The snow clearing became vicious, like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap, just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure of my legs was gone, my boots slipped out, and a hole in my soles were a hard surface again. I reached the clear path with one jump from there, ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I managed to notice the claw marks. It was as if a dog striking the wood with its palms, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard? My mom had locked the door. Drowning in fear, I pulled on the knob, and it obediently gave way. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock, and I couldn't flick it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breathing reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. The smell of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used to talk with Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone. The breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, we're mere 5 meters away from Mom. My fears were slowly weakened, melting like snow in spring, and with it the last bit of strength I had left in my body. My legs gave way. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. My mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mass of strictness detached was gone. Mom looked at me as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, wet pants, plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you, stay home. Am I nothing to you too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted to cuddle her, or her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest. Did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There's something chasing me. I thought... I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicious and looked in the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant when she covered her mouth with her hands. Look over there, at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again. My pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I have heard something scratch at the door, just like my nightmare. No, it was so scary. Mom beckoned me with her finger and gathered all my remaining bravery to look at the kitchen window. Oh! I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow through the icy winter patterns in the glass. Dogs. Just a small pack of strays, with no name, an owner, barely reminding of hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was the first time she'd seen them. What if they attack Olia? Mom? I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mom, look, they're alive. Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Mom sighed in annoyance and felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip. And fixed my gaze on a cobweb-riddled corner. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among the pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten? Of course! The dark and sticky mitten had belonged to the lost boy, made a squishy sound in my hands. Seems like I was clutching it this whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present the clue to my mom. Mom, look, this is Voya's mitten. The boy the police... Oh my god, though. I'm like looking at the glove. This morning, it's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on the tree. Let's call the police right away like the officer told us to. Mom, look! Ew! A shadow of doubt slowly crept into Mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Stop it this moment! Olia will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. Ooh. Did you guys do something? And you joke around like this? Ooh. At that moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. Oh! I wanted to sink through the floorboards from embarrassment. Come here, my boy. Who cried wolf? Don't just stand here. Come here. Take your pills. Oh! Oh! A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of dead wasps, fell into my palm. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and you... Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it, and you won't be able... Or you won't be able to sleep at night. You have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication and drink it down with similarly awful water that gave off the taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters and Olia's owl. Am I mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had immediate effects, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you sleepy? Or, yeah, you're sleepy. No, Mom, I was just thinking. What about, I wonder? It's just something silly. Mom, scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything alright? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bottom of the tiles. The light bulb also felt different, dimmer and yellower. When the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste, the melody from Aladdin would be heard from the upper floor. Olia was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episode and switched to the other tape. I slowly changed to my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror. Like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. I went upstairs. Jafar and Lago's voice died down. I walked past Olia's bedroom and slipped into my own. She's hiding in there. My Triceratops figurines. I know all about sorts of dinosaurs, velociraptors, afroventors, hypsilophodonts. Very suspicious. Dinosaur mention. Love the dinosaurs. It was awesome. Next to the Robotech Transformer. Ooh, I love this cartoon. When the jet fighter speeds up in the intro, and the sound of blast fire, you know your next 20 minutes will surely be amazing. Centauri space station is captured. Rick, get ready for battle. Got his mechs. Monster Ghost UFOs. With some paranormal stuff. Always scared of this book. She could barely handle sifting through the monsters and aliens section with me. But the middle part, where they talk about ghosts, really freaked her out. And I even remembered hunting ghosts after I read that book. I measured the distance between items on my table, every evening to check if they moved something due to supernatural forces come the morning. They didn't. But to be honest, what was I expecting? To meet Casper the ghost? You got the mitten. Someone behind the curtains. My tired head dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to the medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort, as if the wind was blowing and the walls were like a pair of sails. The room corners bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth that was stuck to my hidden visitor. Just like a savant of sorts. Olia? Who else would be standing there? I stood up with my lips. Olia, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains, ba-dum. My heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowingly full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rattled against the holder, then pulled up and opened again. Gotcha! I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olia's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, Dad, she's not some flashlight. Emoto scare. My little sister scared me. What the bahoni? But I brought her the... Ugh. I brought her to the window one day and the sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child woven in light. Tell everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little. Before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched on her commanding tone voice. It's nothing, just Olia ran to the table, her eyes round, and asked, You stole something and hid it there. Are you a thief? What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from the tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind the black tree. Olia could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me! Swear you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Olia wore a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart. An oath she'd heard in one of the movies about the pioneering we've watched. Pioneers we've watched. What's that? An umbrella term for communist children organizations existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent of the Scout movement. Interesting. Don't say things like that. Yeah. Interesting. Olia nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olia leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was it was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said that as she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it and got lost himself. Now, You do understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander off in the forest, right? It must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police are going house to house showing his photo to everybody. Olia traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. And why are they going house to house and not the forest? Are they scared? The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right. Flashed in my clouded mind. But they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, and whispers of icy branches dwell. If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it just appear for me? I changed the topic. As if trying to get Olia as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy myself. A lot of stuff like in Fields of Wonder. The Soviet and Russian TV game show, still running to this day, coming out every Friday, can be described as a partially adapted version of Wheel of Fortune. Sounds cool, right? Olia wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic of her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense, an owl won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Someone needs to help these baboons, dude. One of them is severely on meds, and the other one is very scared. Their parents are too preoccupied being spiteful towards each other, but these kids are in need of serious help. Both very cute designs too. Yes. Sorry, fixing myself in my chair. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... How should I put it? It's cursed or something. It's like in a fairy tale? No, not like that. More like in a spooky tape Mom and Dad were hiding from us. Olia shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? No, I was just hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind, a small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in a tower. Can't go anywhere. Oh, Kratos. I'd die from boredom here. You're wrong. No one has ever died from boredom. And you have me, your cartoons, Mom and Dad. We'll be good to each other soon. You know what? I would wish for... on my own... You know what I would wish for on my own birthday? I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go and play together like we used to. Puppy! 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 Yeah. If you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Whoa. I'd just make them tiny and put them in a box. Olia giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Pony! Let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue went over my desire to be with my little sister. I washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired, I don't want to. Come on! Just go into the room and lay in the bed and then pass out while Aladdin's on the TV. Standard sibling behavior. Hi, Star. It's regular sibling behavior. Literally, my pain in the ass sibling would, well, I'm watching TV, watching some kind of movie or something, and I'd just be, chilling. They'd change it to how it's made because they know it would make me pass out. So I'd pass out on the freaking couch, and then when I'd wake up, they'd be playing some sort of freaking video game on the TV. And I'd be like, you punk! I got sedated by how it's made. It's so boring alone, and Mom's always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before. I know all of your tapes by heart at this point. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go, let's go. Maybe a bit later. Should I tell you how it ends? Let's leave that for tomorrow. I won't let you tomorrow. I know, let's play hide and seek. Oh, Olia. And draw me a dino. Olia, please, dude. Yeah, your sibling is severely medicated right now, and it's kind of really bad that he's kind of in a position of... He's kind of parenty, you know? With how both parents are being kind of weird. So he's kind of in this position where he's on his meds. And he really should be taking a nap, and Mom should be taking care of Olia, but... This baby is starved. Starved of love. This baby's too young. Yeah, parent light. Hi, Star. Hope you're doing good. Draw it, draw it! Will you leave me alone? I blurted out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I've never screamed at my little sister like that. Olia stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling and burst into tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What happened to me? I hurried to prevent Olia from crying. Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna! I came up to her, putting my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Watch Peter Pan. Boo! You'll fall asleep again! I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full Triceratops later. Hooray! Triceratops! Triceratops. Evil older brother. Tisk tisk. Well, close enough. Olia rubbed her eyes with her sleeve of her pajamas, and with a shining smile returned on her face. I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk, or we'll be yelled at again. Wanna bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it. Olia disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Bro needs to take a nap. What the hell is that? What is making all that noise? A piggy bank. We're a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will take a lot of money. Too bad I don't have a coin on me. Oh shoot. For me to save. Only has countless toys. No teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olia doesn't sleep without it. She digs her nose into the fluff as she sleeps. Cute. Oni-chan baka. Scary window where Olia sees that a cursed owl every night lurking in the dark. Olia keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as twilight comes, she shuts them tight so she wouldn't see a pair of hungry eyes outside. Making all this weird noise. This weird honking noise. The old photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. Oh, you see yourself in the TV. Cool. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Tubes warmed up and a familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR, then a noise calmed down and blurry image appeared for a moment. It was dark. What's that? Do you hear that? Ew, what the heck? I have nostalgia for the low crackling warmth of CRT TVs. Is it? Yeah, you smell the TV popping open. Whenever, I think I sometime recently, like, not recently, it was more like 10 years ago, retro era, turned on a CRT TV because we still had one, and plugged in the PlayStation 2. There was like this really high-pitched ring to the TV. And I'm remembering that. Picture split in half. Let me turn on my volume though, because I turned it up to hear whatever the goobler's saying. It annoys me, it's so high-pitched. Something creepy resembling human speech is coming out of a speaker. Just a few minutes later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV stations only show Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I could tinker with the antenna if I catch the channel again? On the other hand, Olia asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her, but in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of that. Let's go, sleepy little guy. Oh, my tapes. I found the tape I needed. Thanks to its shabby spine. I got the black rectangle from its box. Spend the evening with your sister. The tape inside rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images whirred in my head, me and Olia flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My little sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed the clouds underneath us part, bearing the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us and Olia. You haven't started without me, have you? Oh, tea drawing. Oh, it's a condensed milk, fresh bread and tea. Oh, that sounds yummy. That sounds yummy. Ooh. You gave them a whole can of condensed milk, though. That's some crazy mama thing. Coffee isn't very common there. Yeah, but I wouldn't give my child a whole can of condensed milk. Some crazy behavior. Maybe like 1 or 2 tablespoons. That's so much sugar. Mama's feeling nice today. Makes you strong for winter. That's too much. I rubbed my eyes. Oh, come, sit. Mom and Dad are arguing again. Yes, okay. We'll turn up the volume and we'll just eat this whole can of condensed milk. They're going through rough times. Rough times are lame. The TV. Wendy was behind the TV. Wendy was hiding. Peter Pan's shadow. Into the dresser. Olia was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana. Oh, Peter Pan is just playing on TV. Maybe mom and dad will buy us a dog too? Yeah, right. I have my own dog in Neverland. Cat, parrot. Olius, smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me. Have you lost all your baby teeth? Obviously. Olia frowned, deep in thought. Peter Pan has baby teeth. What if they won't let you go to his land with adult teeth? Well, think something. We'll ask Dad to alter your age in the passport. And why would Dad forge a document? Oya took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full. You're I remember you before. We'll grow ears as big as Dumbo's. Olia got worried and touched her ears. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. As she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland, to be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where no one ever ages. Where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and sound of broken plates at night. He's cozy. He's passing out too. He's clocking up. It definitely reminded me of the time where my sibling did change the freaking TV, and I just, I just clock out, and I'm like, yeah, that's sleepy time for me. Felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open when my sister screamed and pulled me back to reality. Oh no! Tony, shut the curtains fast! Why? No one's watching you. It's dark. And when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. Got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. I did my best to not look outside towards the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemed to draw closer and closer. Of course, it was the visual effect from the shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tony, Mom thinks I made the owl up. And Dad, too, thinks I'm a liar, since I'm small. But the owl exists. Honestly, it does. Do you believe me, right? That it comes every night and I swiftly grab Olia's hand and look her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination, but did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. And tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. But it wants me to look. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed. Like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad said. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. Darn parents. These poor beans. I want them to be taken care of. I want them to get head pats and kisses on the forehead. It was madness, but after everything that happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe Olia's owl existed. We followed Peter Pan's adventures if nothing happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olia's eyelids had dropped. She started snorting lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olia's room. I was looking out the window, studying the field, when Mom peeked into my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day of school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Yeah, it's very eerie. You get this, like, I feel like there's stuff outside, and I'm like, ugh, I don't like it. I don't think everything is so simple. As if sound asleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming. Something invisible rustling in the corners. You know, this whole time, like, I feel like I figured out where all the windows are in this house, and I'm like, I don't like the windows. Close all the windows. My inner voice had questions for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just part of growing up, and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the field. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't know how to... I fell into slumber. Probably because you were just fighting your meds this whole time. Thank you for completing episode 1 of Tiny Bunny. Did you enjoy it? Would you want to know what happens next? We're already working hard on the continuation of the story. Hell yeah! This was really good. I do want to know. That was really good. Oh shoot, there is a full one.
1, 2.
Whoa. Something's still going on in the forest. Gladly, though. That was good. That was really well made. Yeah, that was very well made. Very good visual novel. I do wonder what this is all about. Like, the paranoia is... Whoa. But also our protagonist being kinda sicky. Kind of sad. Like, what's going on? Is it all in the mind? Is his sister similarly having some issues like that? Or... I don't know. A lot of heavy things. Like, what is up with the parents? Like, why are they really just, like, I understand, like, you have your whole relationship thing going on, but, like, you really should sort out what's going on with these kids before you start doing all these things, but, you know, I guess that's just what selfishness is, and it's unfortunate. Because, yeah, a lot of Peter Pan stuff is probably very much like that whole Neverland thing, because the animals dancing outside gave me very, like, Lost Boys, because they were all, like, different animal costumes and stuff. We are the Lost Boys. And the kids being lost. Lost Boy hint again, you know? Very curious. Very, very curious. The writer's great. The translation's fantastic. This game was originally, Russian. Oh. There's a little hiccups here and there. I saw, like, some typos, but, like, overall, the suspense and tension and translation was very good. Like, I'm not sure how easy it is or how hard it is to have, like, an English translation from Russian be that kind of, like, equally seamless and well written, you know? It's really good. You haven't thought of the Lost Boys thing? Yeah, because I was thinking they all were, you know, they were playing the flute and they were all dancing outside, And I'm like, maybe they're Lost Boys. But, you know, we'll see. Yeah, it was really good. Eventually I will get it. It's not that expensive, but I do want to get the whole game. There's a manga volume? What? What is this? What the heck is going on in this manga? What the heck?
1, 2.
Weird. Some weird. They have some manga. Did this just come out, actually? No, it came out in Christmas, but it's having a rebuild. I spent December of last year, first week reading your comments and a lot of comments. Not a patch, not a DLC. Cosmetic changes. Reworking the lore inside the already set canon. Ooh, they're still reworking it? That's crazy. Wow, that is dedication though. They're like, I'm looking at their updates and they're reworking stuff and I'm like, that's interesting. I'm already so engaged with all the writing and all the characters and what the whole like question is. There's so many questions. Like, what's up with the missing kids? What's up with the weird monsters outside? Why is he sick? Is he sick? Is this just all like some kind of hallucination spell or what? But that's very cool. Very, very cool. Appreciate that. But yeah, that's all for me tonight. I enjoyed that thoroughly. I got one jump scare and that got me good. Dude, Chris, shut up. It was really good. It was really, really good. Yesterday didn't happen. Today definitely happened. Yesterday never happened. This is yesterday. Just believe that we played this yesterday. It was just one long consecutive stream of this. Good night, I'm so sorry. Good night, good night. Oh, good night. I could never dream to write like this, I'm not gonna lie though. I am not that talented. Bye-bye, guys. Bye-bye.